What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the future of the DCU. Now, James Gunn and Pete Safran had a secret event at the end of last week, and the press, I'm going to say that loosely because of who actually revealed this information, not exactly press, but certain people were allowed to say what they've actually spoken about. Now, they're going to have an Avengers Endgame style, a culmination. After 6 years, they are building up to an Avengers Endgame level event, which is interesting because Marvel never actually had that in mind when they first started making their movies. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. They are essentially copying the Marvel mold. I hate to say it, they are. And I actually think this is a good idea. So if you're new around here, what the freaking hell are you doing? Make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. Like I say, when there's DC stuff to talk about, we talk about it. Also, if you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. Although when my new setup is completed, I will be coming on camera a lot more like I used to. I know I keep saying that, but it's taken me a while. And also, check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into it. So, James Gunn and Safran had an event with various press on Friday. I don't understand why this information took so long to come out. And the pair revealed they intend to release 2 live-action movies and 1 animated movie with DC per year. They also plan to release 2 live-action shows and 2 animated series for Max per year. What the frick? That's actually quite a lot. So 2 live-action movies and 1 animated movies per year. I'm a massive anime fan. If the animation's up to anime level, then sure, bro. And then I don't really care for the HBO Max stuff, although the Penguin series was good. So they are setting the standard. They are setting the expectation for the non-existing audience at the moment, although the audience will build when the brand trust goes back up, hopefully after the Superman movie. Gunn has a 6-year plan in place to include an Avengers Endgame style a culmination, but won't go into details. Interesting. So, on one hand, they're trying to say, and Pete Safran recently said that they're trying to build a joint universe, and then it's like, yeah, but some of the projects will be standalone. Either you're doing a joint universe or you're not. Interesting. So, yes, I was wrong about Zack Snyder directing a couple of episodes of the Green Lantern HBO Max. I'm not going to put on blast who told me, but that I was told that, and that wasn't actually the case. No, it was just a friend who happened to be at Warner Bros, went to see his friend, and that is it. It's a shame because it's described as quirky, funny, and serious, right up Snyder's field, if you ask me. So finally, we have a new DCU Batman. Okay, we don't, but we actually do. Rumors have offered James Gunn wants Robert Pattinson as the new DCU Batman, and he came out and said, no, Robert Pattinson is not the DCU Batman. So we have a new Batman. We just don't actually know who it is. Regarding the Batman 2, now this is interesting because Robert Pattinson and Andy Serkis have both said they know what the movie's about. But this was said, Matt Reeves still hasn't turned in the final script. Gunn and Safran like what they see so far. Filming starts towards the end of the year. That is interesting. So, Batman Brave and the Bold. Now, this is even more interesting because it basically confirms that Andy Muschietti is not going to be the director. And I'm also kind of worried because it says that James Gunn is heavily involved in the development of Brave and the Bold. No, I'm not a hater, but I don't think James Gunn's scripts are the strongest. It won't say. The Brave and the Bold, with the writer, they're not revealing who the writer is because it's Zack Snyder. What? No, it's not. Due to not wanting to put pressure on whoever that is, Muschietti will get the script when it's ready. The movie centers on Dark Knight and his son Damian Wayne as Robin, who is quite the firecracker. Batman is unaware he has a son. The project is based on Grant Morrison's run of Batman. Now, that's pretty darn cool. It is pretty darn cool. Now, they basically said they will have final decision of who directs the movie after the script is developed. So, basically, they are soft telling you that it's not Andy Muschietti. Now, it did go on to say that the Superman movie is in post-production. Gunn heads back to Atlanta for additional work and reshoots. Won't be at Comic-Con this summer, but the movie comes out in July. Comic-Con is in July, so realistically, that is not the case. And also, they did say that a new official trailer is coming out. Now, I have to laugh when people say official trailer Because let's be honest, lads, if you've read the plot leaks, you know it's true. They literally show one of the ending scenes in the first tease trailers, right? So there's a new trailer coming. It sounds like it's coming in the next week. Although they didn't actually say that, I kind of get the vibe that it's coming out in the next week or so. Now, it comes out in July, which does make sense. So we have the whole of March, the whole of April, the whole of May, the whole of June, July. So 5 months, essentially, give or take. So we don't really need a second trailer because this trailer shown so much off, and people seem to think it's only showing off stuff in the first act. Barely showing anything off. There is literally a scene in that trailer that is very close to the end of the movie. Now, I'm not hating. They also said that Crypto is getting short, serious films, described as seasonal films, 4 in total. Same dog that appears in Superman, which is cool. Like I say, as long as a Superman movie does well, then yeah, this whole universe could be very successful. Like I've said, you can go back through my Instagram. I said the Suicide Squad movie was good, not just because I went to the UK premiere, because it was good. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies were good. So there is an official trailer in the works being released relatively soon. But relatively soon could literally mean, you know, whenever, realistically. So this is great news. He went on to say, the new Batman could appear before his own movie, meaning Batman Brave and the Bold. But it also went on to say there is currently no actor, which doesn't actually mean there is no actor. There could be an actor already, but they just haven't gone on record to say who it is. But it is good that the Matt Reeves verse is going to be standalone with the Penguin show and with obviously the Batman 1, 2, and 3, which is great. But it's a bit worrying, okay? You can criticize some stuff that is said, right? Without hating, it's a bit worrying that we've got Andy Serkis saying, yo, we're shooting this year. Matt Reeves saying we're shooting this year. And obviously the star Robert Pattinson saying we're shooting this year. But there's no script turned in fully. I almost feel like James Gunn needs PR training and should literally just be like, yo, just come out and say what you mean. So the Supergirl movie is halfway through production. They're filming it in England, just outside of London. It's all inside shots, so we're not realistically going to get anything. The Lanterns is in production and will premiere early 2026. Clayface, Gunn again confirmed it's DCU. James Watkin in talks to direct films this summer. Swamp Thing sounds like it's on the back burner because James Mangold is busy with something else. Now, this is disappointing. The Authority also sounds like it's not happening. It's a big movie. Some of the other story elements from various DC projects will overlap. Teen Titan confirmed Supergirl writer has wrote a script, but it's still being worked on, which is cool because that was very good, the cartoon animated one. Bane stroke Deathstroke. The only confirmed Matthew Orton is writing a script, but wouldn't say if it's for Bane or Deathstroke movie, which is cool. It really is cool. So we know Peacemaker is coming out in August, season 2. Pretty darn cool. But as for the Penguin season 2, they wouldn't go on record and confirm it because Colin Farrell has basically said, yo, I'm not getting in that suit again. Obviously the fat suit. Unless they make it a lot easier to get into, which is cool. So Starfire, Green Lantern animated series is being developed, which is cool. Nothing against them as long as it looks good. You know, for me, Creature Commandos, the animation was so inundated that it was pointless. So we know the trailer is expected to be released at CinemaCon. CinemaCon is at the start of April, so we could suggest then. Now, I think James Gunn's movie will be good, but can the DC fandom please stop saying that James Gunn is going to be a generational Superman, it's going to be the greatest thing ever, when we've literally seen a 2-minute trailer. Just because he's building up to a culmination of an endgame level, you know, it could be Anti-Monitor, could be Darkseid, could literally be anyone. There's no real clues yet officially. Now, also, there is some worrying information that's come out recently from a scooper. Filmmaker James Gunn comic movies are typical, pretty comedic, leading to concerns. Superman will perhaps lean a little too much on humor. Here's what the insider had to say. So, it's worth saying that you never know if any of this stuff is true. I tend to not to favor any scoopers anymore. I just say what's on the internet. So it wanted to say this. This leads to Superman concerns. Obviously, the comedic tone will also be very comedic. Talking during a recent episode of The Town, Hollywood insider Matthew shared, I've been told by people at Warner Bros. There's a lot of humor in Superman. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, just as long as it doesn't turn into a full-blown comedy act, because we don't really need that. And that's not really the vibe in the first trailer. Is this a cause for concern? It's too soon to say, but probably not. In 2023, Gunn said, I learned so much from making Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but it's not like that in Superman. Superman is going to have the same vibe as Guardians. It's actually quite different. Okay, I'm still a bit skeptical if that is actually the case. So he elaborated on Superman's approach to humor when he explained it. People like Rachel Brosnahan are funny, so funny, and David Corset is very funny as well. So their humor's in it, but it's trying to create something that's grounded, but also in an incredible fantasy-filled world, which is interesting. It's fantasy. It's taking things from other things like Game of Thrones, where it is the universe where superheroes actually exist. It's interesting. So if it's gonna have a comedic tone, I mean, if it's on the tone of the Suicide Squad movie, I would actually like it to have a darker, serious tone. But yet humor, yet saving kids, saving like cats from trees, cool. But the trailer doesn't really give us that vibe. So let's hope this comedic tone isn't as bad as what people were trying to make out. I'm trying to be more positive. I really am. So it's interesting. And then I went on to say that Frank Waller is reportedly set to return as Rick Flag Sr. in the spin-off, which is obviously going to be, obviously he's in Peacemaker, but he's going to be in Waller as well. It's interesting why they haven't actually released Waller yet. My adventures with Green Lantern would take place in the same timeline as my adventures with Superman. I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool for continuity. And James Gunn apparently says we're a couple years away from getting a DCU game. He says they've talked with NetherRealms and Rocksteady on potential developing that. Now, we know allegedly there's the leaks going around about a Batman Beyond game based on like job lists and stuff like that. I mean, realistically, lads, just make a Superman game. I don't think it will bang as hard as the Batman Arkham franchise, but we need a Superman game. I know it's hard like a Flash game would be. Just give us a freaking Superman game. So also, apparently James Gunn is working on a secret project, and a lot of people seem to think it's the Superman sequel. But according to this post here, James Gunn working on his next script, not Superman sequel. I mean, if it's going to be based around Superman, Superman needs to be forefront, and they're going to add a bunch of skins to Fortnite close to release. I'm assuming it says here. James Gunn says he's not ready to commit whether the dynamic duo is set in the DCU. Don't understand why that makes any difference. But yeah, pretty cool. So we're getting a new Batman. We're getting Robin Pattinson Batman staying in the DC Elseworld universe, which is cool. And also the Superman movie's coming soon, and the trailer's coming soon. So very positive from me. And I was wrong about Zack Snyder returning for Green Lantern. Well, not really me. I was just relaying what I was told. But, sometimes people get stuff wrong. It is what it is. So like always, guys, I will catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch you later.